Hello everybody, welcome to the kitchen. Today we're going to be making a dough type of clay. Really simple, most people have made it as kids. All it is equal parts salt and flour and half of that amount of water. So the recipe I always use is 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of salt, and then a half cup of water. But of course you could always change that. For example, I'm going to make a half recipe today, so I will be using a half cup of flour and salt to a 1/4 cup of water. One note here is that if you decide to make this recipe and dissolve the salt in the water first, you're going to need way more flour. Something changes when you do it that way. So what I'm going to do is just put equal parts of salt and flour together in a bowl and then half that amount of water. And again, the recipe I use is 1 cup of salt, 1 cup of flour. Mix the dry ingredients together like this, and then add a half cup of water. If you're coloring your clay, it's kind of like a make-at-home Play-Doh. If you're coloring it, add the colorant directly to the water. So what I usually do for a half batch is I will use 10 drops of colorant. What I'm going to do is fill this up with water. This one, let's make blue. And I'm going to put 10 drops in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's mixed in. And then I'm going to pour it in here. Okay. Next thing, I'm going to mix it up. If you find the consistency not to your liking, you can always add more water or more flour. If it's too wet, add more flour. If it's too dry, add more water. But if you're adding more water, make sure you only add 1 drop at a time, because a little bit of water goes a very long way. So I'm just stirring and rotating over and over, making sure everything is very well mixed. I'm going to switch here to hand mixing. What's nice about this is you can create darker colors by adding more food coloring. You can create pastels by adding less food coloring. And of course, you could also mix custom colors by either blending 2 separate clays together or mixing the droplets directly into the water. So this is getting there. I might add a drop. Let me see. I'm going to take it out of the bowl here. I was going to say I might add a drop of water, but it feels all right. Maybe a little bit. Just a little bit of water. Just a little tiny bit. A little bit of water goes a very long way. So what I'm hoping is that this all sticks together. And the salt in here is going to help preserve this so you can use it over time. And because it is water-based, what you want to do is kind of wrap it up. One more thing to mention with these is if you want a smoother consistency, you can add Vaseline or oil to them. So that's pretty much it. What I'm going to do now is make a bunch of different colors and do some blending as well. Okay, so now I have made a bunch of different colors. So this was the first green. This green has twice as much. So this one has 20 drops in it. This is white. So white has no colorant at all. By the way, if you use unbleached flour, the the white will be a little more dull. So I've got different greens, the blue, a pink. If you want to make brown, you can add a little bit of green to the red. You get a brownish tone. One of the best things about this kind of material is that it's sculptable, but it's also really great for cutting. So if you have cookie cutters, you can make pendants. I made these little food items here for fun. So there's like a little drumstick, a salad, a pizza, a thing of fries, and a bottle. So what you can do for sculpting, I'm just going to show you how you can sculpt something really quickly here. I'm going to show you if you don't want this to stick to the countertop, you can use a little bit of flour so that it doesn't stick. The flour will dry this out. By the way, speaking of drying out, these should be stored in an airtight container or under plastic in your refrigerator. So what I'm going to do is just cut the edge off of this. So this cuts very nicely. So if you have any sharp tools or knives, you can also cut. Just cutting off the edge. I'm gonna make like a small container. So I have a little patty, and then I'm kind of making like a pinch pot. Just gonna push the middle in and rotate. That's how I made the little bowl for the salad. So you could make little tiny pottery items this way too. So there's like a little container. And yeah, it's really easy. One way that I made the French fries was also by cutting. I can show you with this. Just gonna flatten it out a little bit, and then cut off the end, and then just cut pieces off like that. And use those as parts of a piece. So you're only limited by your imagination. You don't just have to make food, you could make art, you could make sculpture, anything you want. And it's super easy, made with materials you can easily find in your kitchen: flour, salt, and water, and a little bit of food coloring. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys later.